XRP, XDC, and XLM. I have talked about these three for a very long time, and I actually do call them the triple threat. These are three absolute giants in the space, regardless of what their asset price is at today, right? Because remember, we're not in a utility-driven market yet. These three are, in my opinion, kind of set in stone around the institutional side of things. And we are going to be talking about really what you need to be focused on right now. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we take a look at this post from Chad Steingraber, we have, I strongly encourage everyone to join the free Discord. There's going to be a link at the top of the description below. This is one of the most valuable and informative Discords out there, and it's completely free. There's a free side that has a ton of free crypto gems, free market strategies, guides, market trends, free charts, and there's also going to be new cheat sheets dropped in this Discord. And already we have a ton of testimonials from members of the Discord that have been absolutely loving it. So what are you waiting for? Go and click the link at the top of the description below and join the free Discord. Franklin Templeton and SBI Holdings. Ripple's banking giant partner SBI is joining forces with Franklin Templeton in creating an investment company with a focus on digital assets. We have Franklin Templeton was the first major incumbent to launch a tokenized money market fund on a public blockchain. This was Stellar. In 2021, it started by using the Stellar blockchain, but extended it to Polygon, Aptos, Arbitrum, and Avalanche. It was the largest on-chain money market fund until shortly after BlackRock launched Build. However, the asset manager's interest extends beyond tokenization, and it is deeply engaged in cryptocurrency research in order to understand the area. It operates nodes on a dozen blockchains. Now, this is the full-on post. We have Franklin Templeton planning digital asset joint venture with Japan's SBI. And of course, we have the ETFs being highlighted here. But regardless, this is all around Web3. They are focused on Web3 as a whole because this is essentially the new, web, but way bigger. This is going to affect pretty much everything around us. Everything around finance, healthcare, gaming, you name it. I mean, literally everything that we know of today will be affected by Web3, or if you will, DLT, blockchain, etc. So as we do focus on this, I think that this is great. Now, like I said, SBI Holdings, Franklin Templeton, all connections back to both Ripple and XRP, as well as XDC. Here we have back in April, obviously you guys know that SBI and Ripple have been really kind of tied to each other for a very long time. Back in 2019, I believe SBI CEO put out a report talking about how all Japanese banks will essentially use XRP by 2025. Don't think that that's going to happen. But again, that just shows you how, big Ripple was and still is to SBI, considering the fact that they continue to expand. This happened back in April, major expansion with Ripple around the XRP use case for supply chain solutions. So this is actually pretty big, and this was with Hashkey DX as well. So very exciting stuff. Now, also XDC. SBI Group and the XDC network, a perfect match driving innovation in Web3 infrastructure. This was also a very big update because this is also with SBI R3 Japan and also the quarter bridge provided by Impel Global that is also built out on the XDC network. This is all through SBI XDC network APAC. I believe SBI Ripple APAC is also a thing, but it just shows you how big both XDC and Ripple and XRP are to SBI. SBI is focused heavily on Web3 and Web3 initiatives. Now, outside of that, Franklin Templeton, like I said, the on-chain money market fund is a big deal. Tokenization from players like Franklin Templeton should not go unnoticed, and this is utilizing Stellar. Now, again, this was the initial announcement back here. They announced it back in April of 2023. It initially started back in 2021, but then more so recently, April of this year, they did announce the availability of peer-to-peer transfers, so P2P transfers for the on-chain U.S. government money market fund, and this is all through a Benji token. This is all with Stellar at the core as well. I know that there is some exposure to like Polygon and Algorand and stuff like that, but almost all of the money market fund tokenization amounts are on Stellar still. So Stellar is still the big focus when it comes to Franklin Templeton. Now, building on top of this, over here we have Franklin Templeton stating we are still in the early first wave of institutional crypto adoption and that the second wave coming is much bigger. And of course, anyone right now can clearly see this. Like, we have a lot of these big institutions focused on ETFs. Why are they focused on ETFs? Because the ETFs are making them money. Let's just be real here. Retail loves the ETF hype. They love the bull and bear cycles because during the bull run, the crowd comes back, FOMO's in, pumps everything to the, massive heights. And then guess what? Everything comes crumbling down. These institutions are seeing how much, money could be made off of these ETFs. That's the first wave, which is just, let's take part in the hype. Let's make money. Let's get richer off of the hype. And then the second wave is actually launching legitimate projects and potentially even use cases that are going to be bringing in mass adoption as well, but also a ton of volume and value. That's where the second wave really is. That's where all of the money will be as well. That second wave, I would assume, probably happens after regulations, if I'm being honest. But check this out. This is from CNBC, and this is with Franklin Templeton.
Let's talk about spot Bitcoin ETFs. We're 5 months in. You guys have roughly $420 million in assets under management collectively across all the spot ETFs. We're looking at around $58 billion in AUM. How are you feeling about things, nearly halfway through the year?
No, on the spot Bitcoin ETF, we're feeling really good about it, actually. We are the lowest provider in the market, and, I think we've been happy with the growth.
And so what's next? Are you looking to capture more market share or optimize for the clients?
100%. We're hoping that people will be fee sensitive and we'll capture more market share. And as people become more interested in the space, you have a lot of firms that are a little bit in a wait and see mode. So you haven't even gotten that second wave. Like, this is really the first wave of the early adopters. And I think the next wave is the much bigger institutions who get more comfortable with kind of how it's settled out.
Let's talk.
And those bigger institutions are, more so like some of the ones that have been around. We're talking JP Morgan, Citi, Bank of America, things like that, right? Like, they're already kind of here. Now, building on top of this as well, there was this clip. This is also from Franklin Templeton. Now, this got posted by Swarm Markets. They're kind of, trying to sell everyone on Swarm, as you guys can see. But it's a very astonishing technology. Eventually, ETFs and mutual funds are all going to be on the blockchain. Now, this is very interesting because as we do really kind of look at the ETFs, that's my big focus here, is the fact that, like, why would I even care about the ETFs until they're on chain? Because right now, everyone's just pandering to these institutions and making them richer. Once the ETFs are on chain, that's when retail really kind of benefits, because if we're invested into, like, for an example, XRP, and the ETFs are trading on the XRP ledger in a tokenized format, guess what? XRP means that it's seeing more volume, it's seeing more value, more users on the actual ledger, which could ultimately impact the price of XRP. But we also have, it's going to open up a lot of new investment opportunities as well. Check this out.
Well, tell us more about innovation and how it's affecting Franklin Templeton. And let me pick out one thing specific, tokenization. You were early in on tokenization. Tell us where you're using it, how you're using it, why it works.
So first of all, I am a huge fan of blockchain and the technology. And we had the first SEC-approved money market fund, a 40 Act mutual fund. The SEC had us run the shareholder servicing system. We used to run our own in-house. We're one of the few firms that did, and the one that we built on blockchain. So these are the records of the shareholders. And we parallel processed for a period of 6 to 8 months. And we were astonished by how much less costly it was to run it on blockchain. It's a very efficient technology. And we think it's going to open up a lot new investment opportunities. And honestly, eventually, I think ETFs and mutual funds are all going to be on blockchain. There's a huge cost in financial services to reconciling data between systems. And then once you reconcile it within your own firm, you then got to reconcile it with your counterparty. In the case of blockchain, there's only one source of truth. That transaction happens, everybody has the source of truth. And so that drives out a lot of costs. And when you can drive out the friction in a transaction, you can start to invest in new areas.
And this is exactly why I focus on what Franklin Templeton is doing, because you can clearly hear from Jenny Johnson, who is the CEO, just how informed she is. She has done her homework on, how big this technology will be, because she's been pioneering it for a while now with Stellar. She has seen the benefits. Now, outside of this, we also have over here, just in at the Blockworks Digital Asset Summit 2024 in London, imagine Franklin Templeton giving a presentation on tokenization in 2017, which they did, and people leaving the room. It's funny to see how quickly opinions can change. Every major firm is now talking about tokenization. We are witnessing an epochal transformation of the traditional financial world. Check it out.
We did our first report on tokenization in 2017, and at this time, my team and I would go out and we'd talk to the C-suite or the executive committee of the largest asset managers and wealth managers all around the globe. And so I brought the report out, and I was telling Rachel, it was so funny, like in a lot of the rooms, people actually got up and walked out. Like when we were presenting this concept of tokenization replacing equities and bonds over time, tokenization opening up new asset opportunities, they just thought it was ridiculous. There was no need for tokenization. We have securitization, I was told. And so many people were so resistant to this idea. And here we are, less than 8 years later, and almost every major firm is now talking about tokenization. So it's funny to see how quickly opinions can change.
Yeah.
And, this is really kind of something I've been focused on in recent times, because just take a look at how active Franklin Templeton is in this space. I mean, even going back to October, right? We have what changes and opportunities can be expected as we move into the 21st century financial market infrastructure. And this is from Societe Generale and BNY Mellon as well. They're discussing how the digital asset ecosystem may impact payments, custody, and more. It's funny because as we really kind of focus on that, I really kind of just go back to Ripple Custody, which is digital asset custody. This is pretty much everything that they just mentioned, all in one, right? We have here, this is around trading, staking, stablecoin issuance, tokenization, custody, pretty much core infrastructure that is anything that any institution, any major player, anyone could ever need, including, of course, those big banks like, for example, like Bank of America or Societe Generale or BNY Mellon. All of them can basically tap in to what Ripple has pretty much created with, and this is all with Medico, by the way. But, building on top of this, more of the posts that we've been seeing from Franklin Templeton has been focused on blockchain networks, specifically public blockchains, not private, public, which is a very big deal. But here we are utilizing the vast potential of blockchain technology. We're developing on multiple blockchain networks and using their features to find the best fit for our tokenization use cases. Followed by over here, one advantage of using blockchain to record and manage assets is speed and visibility. We have built our tokenization platform where we use public blockchains as record keepers that serve as the source of truth for transactional information. And they just continue to build on the fact that public blockchains are the focus. They offer resilience and invention at a lower cost and remain a powerful force for global innovation and financial inclusion. And remember that public blockchains actually offer higher security than private blockchains, which is a very big plus one. And then also there's a few other ones by Franklin Templeton like this. Bridging asset classes across chains is super exciting. Interoperability and scalability is the focus here. And then last but not least, we also have digital assets technology at Franklin Templeton is at the forefront of blockchain technology, making financial services more secure and efficient through tokenization. What's crazy about this is the size of Franklin Templeton or even BlackRock, right? Look at all of these institutions now flooding the space with ETFs, which will lead to tokenization, use cases. If we go back to 2017 or hell, even 2020, half of these announcements would erupt the crypto space. I mean, this space would be absolutely on fire right now. Yet nobody cares right now. And it's so shocking to me because, XDC, XRP, and XLM, I remember when they were all scolded essentially. More so XRP, right? Ripple and XRP for the longest time was called the banker's coin. Oh, they're working with bankers. We're avoiding XRP because they're working with bankers. They're this, they're that. And then all of a sudden the market was like, hey, BlackRock, here, take our Bitcoin. Hey, all of these institutions are now pumping, Bitcoin through ETFs. It's a great thing. It's crazy how the dynamic in the space has shifted. And a lot of people forget that Ripple was at the forefront of this. Ripple was preparing while everyone was looking down on it. They were preparing for a world like this. Stellar was preparing for a world like this. A lot of these utility networks, even Hedera, for example, Quant, they all were preparing for a world like this where the biggest players out there in the TradFi space are now embracing this technology through public blockchains. Isn't that crazy how the space has evolved like that? This is why I focus on the big players. This is why I focus on XDC, on XLM, on XRP, because these are three big players that have been at the forefront of institutionalization of the space, enterprise grade use cases, utility. Yet so many people just continue to ignore them. And it's at a time where everyone should be focused on all three of these projects. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with it being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.